This is the IMSCast, the official podcast of the Illinois Society. This is episode number... Oh, fuck it. This is a special E3 cast for 2013. It's been over a year. We're back. Who's here? My name's Adam. Next to me is Dave. Say hi.
What up?
DM in Florida representing.
Yep.
Jason. Hello. Are we on the air?
Hi.
Bill.
Yep. I'm
Okay,
here.
we're all here through the miracle of technology.
This is fantastic.
We're all here.
It feels so good. It's like we never stopped.
And we never did. We just forgot to upload them all.
There's a year's worth of episodes in a basement somewhere.
We're releasing them in reverse order.
I was pinching the microphone cord, so all this shit's gonna fly you at once.
It's like Prince. He just has all this shit in the vault. You're going to have Illmind forever. We're just going to release them at steady trickles.
You just worked for really hard for 1 year, and you're just gonna release it all.
That's how we do.
That sounds very tantric.
Oh, Prince. Again, Prince-like.
Yeah, I suppose. I was thinking Sting, but what are we here for? What do we talk about? E3, right? I said that, right? E3 2013. Let's just call out who won, and then we'll start wrapping up then.
Yeah, we'll just call it a night, right?
Yeah, so on 3, we all yell out who won, right? No, let's not do that. Okay. Who has opinions? Where should we start?
I don't know. I thought we were going to
Should we catch up?
I thought we were going to catch up for a little while.
We can catch up, yeah.
It feels so businesslike with you, Adam. I'm not even sure I like this anymore.
Well, I thought we talked about it. I didn't read my itinerary, so.
It's okay.
I'll fade into black, and you guys can catch up. I've just been sitting here with my headphones on, waiting for you guys to come back. So,
I'll just like nerd puke all the shit I've been getting into lately. I watched the shit out of Justified. I rewatched Deadwood like 3 times since then.
jeez,
What have, dude? Don't even start with that bullshit. I stopped watching. Like I picked up and then immediately like rage quit Breaking Bad like 8 times because it's so horrible. You have to keep doing
So wrong.
the whole internet just shook their head at you.
I know.
Disapprovingly.
I've been playing a shitload of PC games. I played Far Cry 3. I played Star Wars. Mine came out again on free to play, so I've been playing that because it's fun.
You're still doing that?
It's KOTOR 3, baby.
Yeah.
Just look at it like that, especially now that it's free and there's no reason not to play it. It's KOTOR 3.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I still want friends to play with, though.
I've been playing every fucking night. Where have you been?
I know. I've got like 3 level 20 characters that I've already started.
Fair enough.
Way back when it came out.
I rage quit Diablo 3. Because that's what you do with that game, right? You play it and like for a week you're like, this is so good. And then you realize that it's complete bullshit, so then you quit.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to put a year. I don't even when it came out, but I wanted to put a year between when it came out. I beat it, got upset with it, and then I wanted to put a year in it, and then come back, and then I was hoping to love it, but I keep looking at the icon on my tray, and I never go back.
Me too. I did for a little while get into Torchlight 2. Just really crazy got into that because that was way cooler. Because I could play it at work, which was good. Yeah. I don't remember what movies I've seen. I haven't seen that many movies.
Nerding it up.
Yeah, just Justified was like the biggest thing that I just like hugely like gasmed on and just like bulk consumed. I rewatched all of Game of Thrones.
Jeez.
I have not. I have about 3 episodes though from the end of this current season, so I know what happens. I just haven't seen it happen.
Yeah, only cheerful moments from here on out.
There's only cheerful moments in that entire show, really.
Yeah.
But actually,
the dark part's over.
I'm really happy about going through and watching it again. Like, again, a bulk consumption. I think I watched the last couple of seasons in about a week and a half, and it's great because there's so many little strings that they're there. You just haven't seen them.
Yeah, I was lost for the first half of it.
Oh, for sure. The whole first season goes by, and you're just like, what?
Here's a million characters.
Yeah, you're like, what's that guy? Who kid is that? I don't know.
I think I've decided to just read the books and not watch the show.
Yeah, I don't want to do that because I know about the author, and I feel like if I do, it'll break my heart faster. So, plus, like I do that thing that I do with a lot of shit where I get bored and I can't wait to find out what happens to certain characters. So I'll read the Wikipedia about it, and I'll like learn about that character because I'm that kind of dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
you're like
I
the
feel
antithesis of me.
No. I like spoilers but I like spoilers at my own command. Like I want on-demand spoilage. So, like I'll do that with, like horror films. Like I don't want to watch a horror film, but I do want to go on Wikipedia like the Monday after it opens and find out how shitty it was by reading the synopsis.
That's weird.
I know.
So you could just, puke at the purge.
Yeah, basically right. Because that's a great. Well, I knew that going in there. It had a great trailer and it's an awesome premise until you spend like 1 second rubbing two brain cells together over the topic, and you go, "Wait, who decided this was a good idea? Wait, what do you get to do?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
This explains why you're wrong a lot.
Sorry, that was loud. All right, that's in a nutshell. That's what I did last year. I played some games, some shit.
You just dumped it.
I took care of a kid. The kid's still alive after 1 year. What? That's a fucking win, bitch.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's my job.
She's like, how old now?
She's like 16 years old now. She can drive a car. She beat up a kid at school. It was awesome.
Mine only lasted like 2 months.
Just keep her away from Bill now.
No problem.
God.
Sorry, Bill.
Too late.
Who else? Somebody talk next.
I'll go.
Jeez. What have you been doing?
I've been reading a lot. I've been playing a lot of Star Wars the LCG. So since the podcast ended, March of last year.
March, yep.
Fantasy Flight's released a new Star Wars card game. It's awesome. I've participated in like 3 tournaments.
Ooh,
my first regional, it was like 50 people there. I placed 21st, I think.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. It was my first tournament, first big tournament, so it was a lot of fun.
Hold on, question. Point of order.
What's that?
How is it what you would expect a card game tournament to be like?
It's actually it was a lot better because it was actually officially run by Fantasy Flight. It wasn't just like some, local gaming store that was running it. So the suite was really clean. It was well organized. There was a lot of players who I wasn't expecting. There's like a lot of older like doctors and like people with PhDs and shit.
Wow.
And then you had the usual like, fat guy who stank. So I mean, there was a good mix of both. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Do you need a coach? Because I've been known to wear a towel around my neck really well.
You could give me a couple shoulder rubs and tell me to.
I'll smoke a ton and then yell at you about stuff.
Nice. That nothing is over. It's not over, Rock. Been reading a lot. I've been reading Hellblazer. I got all like 300 plus issues. I've acquired them somehow on my tablet. So I'm at like issue 100, and Jesus Christ, that book is really good. I didn't realize how much of a product of a time it is because it takes place in like 1980s the UK, and the original writer Jamie Delano, you can clearly tell that he really hates Margaret Thatcher. But yeah, the book is phenomenal. It's really good. Name of the Wind is fantastic. I'm just about to wrap that up. Neil Gaiman has a new book coming out on Tuesday, so I'm trying to wrap that up before Tuesday. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And since the last recording, a whole entire season of Doctor Who is come and gone.
Anyone else watching Doctor Who? Nobody? Crickets?
No.
Not an episode.
Are you watching it, Adam?
Well, I started back in we started the 2005 episodes, kind of like the reboot, or I don't know what you'd call that, but that's kind of the modern start of Doctor Who, right?
I've seen that episode in the factory with the mannequins like 6 times.
Yeah, it's hard. That one's really, you got to push your way through that.
Yeah, I watched at least a season of that, and I kind of fell off the wayside, and my wife Angela, she just kind of kept plowing forward, and she's huge into Doctor Who right now, so just mad dash. And she's like checking the time in the UK with world clocks and stuff. Like I think the credits are probably rolling right now. Can you look online to see if it might be available? So
Yeah, why don't you just mask your ISP and just make a UK IP address and watch it through BBC?
yeah.
There you go. I can do that.
Yes,
This is
Doctor Who.
Star Trek.
Doctor Who's really. I'm sorry, what was that?
This is Star Trek.
Doctor Who's really good. The 50th anniversary special comes out in November. Lots of announcements have been made, but I'll try to keep those to their own.
There's a new Doctor, right? They just announced a new Doctor.
No, they didn't announce it. They've announced that Matt Smith is leaving, but they haven't announced.
I thought they had announced there was
It's
a new
only speculation. I think.
Yeah, there's speculation right now who it's going to be. So.
There's like a million rumors of who's going to be the next Doctor, but
It's gonna be Tom Cruise.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh God.
On stilts.
But speaking of Tom Cruise, movies, lots of movies this summer. So far, I've been actually kind of unimpressed with the movies. Nothing's really blown my mind so far this summer.
No Dick Clarking.
No, I mean, Iron Man 3 was okay, but
Yeah.
Star Trek was okay, but
I agree.
Man of Steel was good, but
Star
I had
Trek
some.
was awesome. Fuck you
No,
guys.
No.
no, it was good. It was good, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
No,
had
I didn't
issues.
say good. I said awesome.
Then you're wrong.
No, that's impossible. I've been gone for a year and I've been saving up all my rightness.
I'd say it was great. So I'm in between.
It was super fun.
I'm more leaning towards Bill's side, but every other movie this year has been letting me down big time.
And this should hold you up. It was such a good movie.
No, I'm hoping Guillermo holds me up.
Oh yeah,
with
that's,
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
calling
so
it
good.
right now. Pacific Rim's the movie of this summer.
It's
I hope.
blow. It's gonna blow.
No, Star
good.
I could go on for hours about Star Trek. It was good, but it wasn't Star Trek. It was an action movie in space.
I thought it had excellent Star
What's
Trek.
wrong with that?
There was no social commentary.
Well, the first movie there wasn't any of that either.
Exactly.
Really.
I had issues with that movie too. I mean,
this is like the 15th Star Trek movie, or what is it? Something like that.
Yeah.
coming off of just watching like all of DS9.
Where's the social commentary of First Contact?
First Contact?
There is no social commentary. It's a fucking action movie in space,
was a
and
trap.
it's so good that you want to rub your nuts on it.
Well, anyway, I
Wait a minute. Are you saying that First Contact is not amazing?
No, I never said that.
Say it. Come out and publicly say that it's amazing.
The First Contact is amazing. I'm not going to say that.
What? Oh.
First Contact is really good. It's really good. It's probably the best next gen movie. But I would say the entire series of next gen is better than that movie.
I think your memory is flawed.
I just got done watching all of Star Trek, sir.
The whole thing?
I've watched next gen and DS9. I skipped Voyager because Voyager's awful.
Come on.
Voyager's
I never watched it either. I just wanted to lash out. Sorry, guys.
Voyager and Enterprise
I just
are
wanted to
cool.
be one of you guys.
Deep Space Nine is harsh in the beginning.
Yes,
That's
no,
so
don't.
good.
Deep Space Nine, it takes a couple seasons for them to find their legs, but when they do,
When they grow their beard, it's an awesome show.
So did Next Gen. Next Gen.
I
this season
agree.
is rough.
I agree. I agree. Next Gen has a couple rough seasons in there too.
But when it grows its beard in the second season, I think it's a Riker reference. I'm trying to.
Thanks.
Good call.
I use it all.
Thanks.
I use it all. I'm just saying. This is like a PSA. I want to. I try to use it all the time,
You're trying to make it a thing.
and then I have to explain it. But I'm so used to explaining it that, well, maybe I may have offended you guys.
Do you need to make it a thing? Isn't it already a thing?
Yeah, it's already a thing.
I never hear anyone say it. Sorry.
It's the first time for me.
I want someone to say
I
it.
like it. I like it.
Then I'll nod knowingly, and then it'll be great. And then we'll just move on.
Okay.
Instead, I say it, it's just like this dull pause, and my heart skips a beat. Anyways,
Yeah. That's what I've been up to. Yeah. So,
Sweet deal.
Bill, what's up?
I've done a lot of the same things you all have done. Did our last episode, did we talk about Mass Effect 3 at all?
that was our last episode.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was titled Shepard's Favorite Podcast on the Internet.
Nice.
Okay. I knew it was close because it came out in March.
I think I missed that one.
But we had that DLC that came out afterwards and cleared up our episode.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, good job on that DLC. I played Tomb Raider recently and Skyoshock. Both were decent.
Yeah, I'm playing Tomb Raider right now, and it's alright.
I think out of the two, I had more fun with Tomb Raider.
I wish there was more tomb raiding and less shooting dudes.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Our friend Dan said that Tomb Raider could be wrapped up, or should be titled Modern Video Game, the video game. Which is very accurate. It's just, it doesn't bring anything new to the table. It's just a fun, polished version of the mechanics we've been seeing over the last
And that's exactly
generation.
why I want to play it.
Me too.
The story's good. But the tombs and the puzzles are elementary.
I want to see this delicate princess turn into this murdering machine, just body counts through the roof. I want to go through that.
I liked the progression of Lara Croft throughout the game. I thought the character development and gameplay matched her turning into a badass pretty well. I mean, eventually she ends up just mowing down just an egregious amount of dudes, but that was going to happen sooner or later anyway.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, it's just I wish. I mean, I said it already. I wish there was more tombs and like harder puzzles.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's called Tomb Raider, and you only raid 5 tombs?
Something like that. She hates tombs. She even mentions it. But this is actually my first Tomb Raider game, so I didn't really have anything else to compare it to in terms of how puzzly the other games were. So I saw it more as Uncharted with a female.
Yeah, that's a fair comparison.
Yeah. Let's see, what else have I been doing? I'm about halfway through Last of Us, which is pretty good so far. I've also been reading, but I can't remember what.
That's quality.
Yeah. Oh, it was
must have been really impressive.
Yeah, it was a whole. Now I remember. It was. I just got done with the 6-book trilogy by Jim Butcher, the dude who does Dresden Files.
A 6-book trilogy?
Or 6-book series, excuse me.
I was going to say.
Whatever, it's late.
They're all trilogies, whatever.
Yeah. And it was the. Oh, what the hell is it called? It's like the Codex Alera.
Yeah.
And that was fun. It was a nice, mediocre fantasy action series.
Now I heard online that wasn't he given the bet to essentially write Pokemon in ancient Rome, and that's what he came up with.
Yeah, I haven't heard that, but I could totally see that.
Yeah, I thought there was he was another author bet him on his boards or something, and he actually said, "All right, I'll do it."
Yeah, there are Pokemon qualities in there. Yeah, it was pretty decent. A lot of okay things over the last year.
Except for Star Trek.
Except for Star Trek, which I thought was amazing. I wanted to go around and when I walked out of the theater, we were debating buying a new ticket and watching it once more. And I don't. Maybe I just love Chris Pine and his deep blue eyes, but.
Quick poll, has anyone ever actually done that? Have you walked out of a movie, immediately bought a ticket, and got back to see it again?
No.
No.
I'm trying to think. No.
I want to say the only movie I did that for, and no judgment, I'm pretty sure I did that for The Fifth Element.
I'm judging you.
No, I'm not judging you, dude. Fifth Element is amazing.
Mainly because we were super fucking baked.
Okay. You forgot if you watched it or not.
No, we were so fucking
we watch
high.
it?
We were so high, and it was just that was fucking awesome. And I was like, yeah? You guys want to watch it again? Yeah.
Nice.
But it was good. I don't regret it. It was good. Okay, that was it. That's all I got.
I was gonna make a multi-pass joke, but I'm trying to push it aside.
Insert multipass.
Quality movie.
All right, well, I'm done talking about my last year. So, what are the few things I can remember doing in the last year?
Fair enough. DM?
Yeah, for me, it's been a lot of the same stuff you guys talked about. Like Jason, I've been like really let down by this whole year in movies. Like everything I've been like super excited for or mildly excited for, I've been let down by. Except for Star Trek. That was the first one where I was like, okay, this is good. I like this. I enjoyed this. But I wasn't crazy about that either.
I think you should reconsider. Come to my side.
And Man of Steel most recently, I was kind of like heavily disappointed by that. And the more time I've gotten with it, the more disappointed I get in that movie.
I would say the Man of Steel is probably the movie this summer that I've enjoyed the most so far, but I still had issues with it.
Yeah.
I expected to be disappointed by Superman. I haven't seen it yet, but that sounds about right.
I do have to say that I did go see This Is the End over the weekend, and that was really, really, really funny.
That's what I've been hearing.
Lots of dicks. There's a lot of dicks.
That's also what I've heard.
All right.
But otherwise, I'm trying to think like game wise, it's hard to remember beyond like the past couple of months, which have been I kind of somewhere along the line became a Monster Hunter aficionado. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know how that happened because I played them before in the past, and while I kind of liked them, they never really they never sunk their hooks into me. But this time, I got into it like crazy, and I was playing it a lot, too much.
Mainly on what console?
Well, on the Wii U is where I was playing it for the most part, and then I had friends who had it on 3DS, and they'd come over and play, and because multiplayer is a must with the Monster Hunter. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is not like Phantasy Star, which I originally kind of just like lumped it into that group together. But it satisfies that same need that needs to be satisfied that wasn't there with no Phantasy Star. So yeah, I enjoy Monster Hunter a lot. It's cool. And more recently I've been playing Animal Crossing.
Woo-hoo. Which
Before I never got crazy into Animal Crossing, but this is also my first time like actually really getting into it and having fun. I think it's nice to have a game where when I turn it on, it's not expecting anything from me. There's no pressure to get anything done. I just leisurely move at my own pace. So I like that. What else has been? I guess that's about it. Every time Dave Major has been dropping Breaking Bad, I've been picking it up and loving it and nurturing it. Yeah, so I've really been enjoying Breaking Bad. I've just started the 4th season, and yeah, hopefully I'll be all caught up for when the last few episodes start up.
Breaking Bad is awesome. I'm halfway through season 4.
Yeah, I'm trying. I think that's about it.
Hey, DM, can we talk about the Wii U for a little bit?
We can.
You and I both own it.
Yes.
So let's just chat a little bit. When I say the Wii U, what do you think about it? What goes through your head?
So the rest of us can prepare for 30 seconds of chat, right?
Come on.
Well, we're not going to talk about all the games.
Sick burn.
Classic understating or underestimating Nintendo.
I actually really enjoy my Wii U. I totally acknowledge and realize that the issues that most people throw out there with it, like the lack of games and everything, is an issue. That's a real thing.
Yeah, that's valid.
But I like the system a lot. I have a lot of fun with the system.
Yeah, as do I. I like everything about it. I like using it. It's my go-to system. I own a few games for it, but it's my go-to system for watching, movies and Netflix and all that kind of stuff because I like the layout. I like the remote screen is great.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more fun to use right now. But maybe it's just because it's fresh. Maybe just because it's not an Xbox and a PS3. But right. I've really enjoyed it so far. I'm glad I got one.
Yeah, if anything, the lack of games just bums me out because I want there to be a lot more things to be playing on that system because I do like the system so much. Yeah, I like just stuff like even Nintendo Land, which I kind of dismissed before it came out, and I thought, oh, that's going to be throwaway, just like Wii Sports was. No, I actually play that pretty often. When people come over, it is a fun multiplayer game. I really like Nintendo Land. I've liked most of the stuff on there a lot. Like the new Super Mario Brothers, I'm not a fan of that series, but the one on the Wii U was the best one I've played out of all of them. Yeah, so I like the system a lot. I really want it to get going, and there are a lot of naysayers, but it kind of reminds me of the whole like 3DS talk when the first year the 3DS was out, and everyone was kind of like dooming it, and then suddenly there's a Mario Kart, and it's like outselling the original DS, and it's doing this and doing that, and so yeah.
Yeah, just everyone just dumps their anger on it, so internet-like, and then Nintendo continues just to roll in the money. I don't know, they just keep doing it, right? And they're like, just shut up. All these complaints roll, and you're like, whatever. What?
Yeah, I find it hilarious when people like like a couple months of bad sales, and they're like, why doesn't Nintendo just go third party already?
Yeah.
I'm like, because they're afloat a boat made of money from all the Wiis they sold. Like, that's why. Like, there's no reason for them to do that at all right now, at least.
They put a console out, and they don't have a lot of games for it right now. It doesn't mean they're just sinking. It doesn't mean like they're in trouble. They can do whatever they want. They put the console out. Maybe they put it out early before they needed to or something. But there could be a lot of things that they did. But either way, they did what they did, and they're not in trouble for it. They're probably doing exactly what they want to, and they're probably feeling zero pain for it. And and we're gonna be kicking it, a year from now. When all these big titles that came out on E3 that were announced, or when those all come out next spring or whatever it is, it'll be a totally different story. Then maybe they'll have a redesign by then and a price drop, and it'll be a really appealing price tag compared to the other monsters that'll be in the stores. So
yeah, and I think the thing too is people's frustration with the lack of games. I don't understand why it kept coming up, because that wasn't going to be an overnight solution. Like, games aren't made in a month. It's not just, oh, we don't have any games. Shit, let's get some of those out in the next, 2 or 3 months. Like, that, you could say that was an oversight by them originally, but that's what it was going to be for that first, half year or 9 months or whatever. And, but once they get that steady stream of games coming out and stuff like that, yeah, I think it'll do just fine.
So, DM, you and I should probably open up our 3DS right now and probably play some Animal Crossing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. What kind of fruits do you have in your town?
I have a 3DS.
Peaches?
Peaches and cream.
Peaches and cream, nice. I have apples, so.
I have a 3DS.
Yeah? And then what?
I'm judging,
Do you have
I'm judging
peaches?
everyone right now.
Do you have peaches?
You said to open your 3DSs. We're friends on 3DS, Adam. I street passed you.
Oh, yeah.
I played a 3DS game. I don't own one, but I played one.
I can spell the 3DS.
Real
I just
quick.
wanted to be included.
Real quick, I pulled up my my Raptor, and I wanted to give a shout out to 2 games that I totally spaced on, but were totally awesome this past year. I played Journey on PSN, which was sick awesome, and I also played. I wanted to give a special notion to XCOM, because that drew a shit ton of my life away.
Oh, XCOM's amazing.
So good, wasn't it?
It was awful. It was great. It was awful hard at points, because I played on Iron Man and whatever the hardest difficulty was, and that just made me want to slit my wrists.
I can imagine. Well, and there is a very difficult learning curve just to start with. So yeah, I mean, I can imagine that being really hard.
Yeah, I'm. That's still in its wrappings. I got it for Christmas, and I've been waiting to get knock my other games off my my list, but they keep piling up. I just got The Last of Us today for Father's Day. So, well, yeah, it's Father's Day, guys. So.
Hey, happy Father's Day to you, Adam.
Happy Father's Day, Dave.
Thanks. Did anybody else play Journey?
Yeah, I did.
Man, did you really enjoy it, or did not so much?
I did really enjoy it, but I didn't find it as transcendent as most people did.
Man,
but I had a lot of fun with it.
Wow, I was invested in the story before I even realized it, and it's kind of so short of a game that by the time you get to the the climax, the high point of the game, it was just I'm not going to say that I was like openly emotional, but inwardly I was emotional about it. It was it was sneaky how it all of a sudden gets you.
Yeah, it's weird because that's a game that I had almost more fun discussing it with other people than I did actually ever like playing the game.
So good.
And for that, I'll praise it. You know, that's awesome that it could bring about these like experiences that you haven't had in games before.
Right. With no words at all.
Right.
And you can have a very emotional experience. Was just awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I love what it does, but.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got. All right, let's talk about the new shit. This is what's going down. This is happening right now.
The current
E3 just wrapped up. They just like unplugged the last shit a couple of days ago down in LA. And obviously the big news is new consoles. It's all about next gen.
All about it.
Do we want to give our opinion on Best in Show?
Actually, we were going to talk about that when we get into other things. One of the things I was going to talk about is how bullshit E3 awards are. Why are we giving out awards at E3? I see you can pick up video game boxes and it'll say won X number of E3 awards. It's like, who the fuck cares about an E3 award? You gave an award to a game that's not finished that they showed you a completely controlled vantage point on, and you get an award for that? Fucking big deal.
Just because your game didn't win anything at E3.
Fucking Big Dave's Sloppy Nuts should have won an award.
It is a good game.
That game was good. The writing was good. You felt for those fucking Sloppy Nuts.
Greenlight that game now, guys. Greenlight it.
It was a transcendent experience.
Video games are art.
All right, let's just talk about the consoles. There's a lot of news about consoles. Let's talk about our feelings. That's why people listen to this. It's not about to get the news.
Yeah.
We ain't breaking news for shit. Let's talk about what happened and what we feel about it.
So,
obviously the big deal is Xbox said, "Hey, this is what we're doing," and Sony came out and said, "Look at those assholes. Here's why we're better." Like it was what Sony really did by saying, "Hey, we can still use games," by making that video that night saying, "Here's how you borrow games." They were really just sticking it.
Oh yeah, that was cruel.
I thought so too.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that though? Is they released that video and 12 hours later they backpedal and say, well, just for our games, publishers are still going to have control over their games.
Right. That's what I've been thinking about this entire time is Sony controlled their message really well. However, it was such a limited view of what I feel like the truth is actually going to be about their console that I think it's going to end up being a disservice to them. You're going to be able to point back to these moments and say, you assholes said this. You didn't say there was an asterisk. But everyone knows it's there, right?
People are out for blood. They just pounced on that. They won that. I mean, like the masses just flocked to PlayStation.
They really did. I think Sony is getting, they're beating out Xbox in pre-orders by about 30% right now.
Just so I can insult people that are listening that did flock, those mindless people that only just go towards the shiny. Oh, shiny. You know, they got won over.
Is anybody pro Sony after that? Did anybody watch those things or hear the news and say, Sony has my chips right now?
Me.
I'm excited to say that I really, really enjoyed their PS4 event, their press conference, and then the E3 event. I liked everything that they're doing, and all in all for E3, I mean, this is kind of early, but like my overall just feeling for it between those two consoles is I'm really excited for both systems, and I don't care who's winning what. I mean, I feel like they both bring in so much to the table. All right, so I'm excited.
Bill and Jason, you guys thought Sony came out better. Well, obviously they came out looking better, but why do you feel that way?
I picked based on games alone. I was up in the air. Kind of leaning towards the Xbox originally, because the one thing I had was my achievement points that I'd like to carry over.
Bill, that's 100% valid. Like, yeah, the systems are for the games, but just that's like the most valid point to make, right? Like, who has the better games? But just for the sake of just discussing it, let's strip out the games for a second and just talk about the hardware. Microsoft has to build a this monster of a machine, and the console, the hardware, and Sony's doing the same thing. Just between that alone, like, do you have any opinions about like just hardware and presentation?
Not really. I mean, hardware, they're pretty equal as systems, aren't they?
Yeah, they're virtually the same box, just different casings.
Different casings. Sony's going to have a little bit of an edge as far as.
I don't want to talk about stats really, because that
historically
that never really worked.
Absolutely.
But I mean, you're talking about just the hardware. I mean, it's kind of hard not to talk.
But you got to
about
talk about the features of
I
it
mean,
too.
like the package, like everything you get. I don't mean like
Okay.
how much RAM it has. I mean like the experience. You turn on your system without any games.
What are you
Day
doing?
one, you don't buy any additional games. What's the system experience for? Like the ports on the back and the experience. You know, PS4 is going towards the share button and that whole thing.
I don't think we have a clear picture of that.
Isn't that funny that Sony puts a share button on their controller, yet they talk about how you don't have to be online? Where are you going to share it to if you're not online?
Yeah,
I think you're still expected to be online.
Right, like this whole thing has been this big shitstorm against Microsoft always online and about obviously used games and
Who here?
like that.
Who here is affected by that? Who
Hold on.
cares?
Online once in every 24 hours.
Right, but that's what pisses me off is that doesn't like I feel like half the people that are getting upset for somebody else. It doesn't affect them; they're upset for someone else.
Who cares?
Why am I
man?
supposed to be upset for somebody else who doesn't
none
do
of that
that?
affects me.
I don't think
that
that
dude.
directly affects me, like, for the first, like, couple years that I'm going to be playing the system, but I don't like the idea that one day authentication servers can be gone, and suddenly my whole collection is literally worth nothing. Nothing.
Right.
Like,
right.
zero. Like, I can't play those games on another system, I can't do anything with any of it. That's the scary part to me.
That part does scare me. And Bill, we had a lengthy conversation about this a while back, chatting back and forth. And that's exactly it. I mean, that's where everything is going. I don't like it. I mean, you can't really resist the whole digital collection, and you only own access to your content. You don't really own anything anymore. But that does kind of suck. But that's the new business model.
But what if the thing is, here's the hypothetical question. What if your choice is I can have direct ownership of a game on a disc, or I can have a game experience on a game that's 50% better, quantify it. What if that's what you get out of it? Always on these giant server clusters behind the scenes.
They haven't showed me that.
Yeah.
They haven't showed me the what's 50% better from this whole policy that they've like pushed down our throats.
But that argument's kind of null and void right now because have they really shown us anything just, other than a video of the hardware? We haven't actually held it in our hands, so it's
right.
It's kind of hard to make that judgment call and to discuss. We're only discussing hearsay and video and words we've read on a website. So
right, but based off that, I can totally see why what Sony is saying that the PS4 is more appealing than what the Xbox One's reality is so far from what Microsoft's laid out.
Okay, so let's break it down to that question. Who finds the Sony hardware more appealing right now?
I do.
Who's that?
Jason and
Jason and Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do as well. I actually come from an interesting standpoint. I think what Xbox talks about, they're talking to me more than the PS4 is, but I still think I have to go with the PS4.
In what way, Jason? Are you talking about? I'm sorry, Bill. What are you talking about? Like the extra TV stuff, or are you just
right? The Xbox, when they came out and they started talking about what their system is about, they were about media and jumping around between, television and your Netflix.
Right.
And that's what I use my Xbox for, is basically a media hub. And whereas PS4, they come out, the first thing they talked about was sharing and social media and connecting with your friends. A lot of really cool options, but not for Bill Anholzer personally.
Now hold on, but Sony never had that. So they add it to this console. They need to talk. They want to talk about that. Yeah, we finally have this thing. Xbox, that's old news. I mean, this isn't like a given. And I know what you're saying. Yeah, they focus on that TV stuff, but that's like their new thing. Of course, they're going to still have this amazing Xbox Live friends social experience, don't you think? They're like, we nailed that, and of course we're only going to make it better like everything else we did. And I'm not trying to be an Xbox fanboy here, but I feel like they talked less about that because they just didn't have to. I guess I gave them an excuse.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I guess for me is I don't really care about the social media, the friendly connections. I care about the media. Like just the straight up media, which the Xbox is talking to.
I totally agree. I thought all of that, what they showed on that in their original, that little hour thing they did prior to E3, when they were talking about TV and the NFL and all that shit.
Yeah.
I was salivating. I was like, fuck yeah, like that is what I want out of a next gen box. That to me is next gen. Better graphics doesn't do dick for me. I got a PC.
Really? Yeah, see, that's what I was gonna ask. Is that like feature set? Is that a $4.99 box in your living room? Like, is that what you want from that, or from a video game system?
I haven't been able to quantify things price wise. Once they threw that $500 price tag out, I was like,
I feel that like adding television and the ability to like record live television is bringing up more questions than it is answers. I mean, to me, I'm thinking it's like, okay, how much more is this going to cost me? Is it going to cost my cable subscription? Because I am DVRing content from my cable provider, but not using their box. Am I still going to be bundled into a DVR contract with my cable provider? Right. If I don't have Comcast, I have Time Warner. Did Microsoft sign a contract with Time Warner? I know they have one with Comcast.
No.
But I'm in a Time Warner region. Now, what if I have Dish? What if I have,
Yeah, I agree. There's lots of questions as far as that. It just depends on how deep you want to look at it. I mean, it's going to work for TV. The question is, can you control it from your Xbox or not?
Exactly.
I read a lot of stuff about how people are speculating that the new consoles are going to have to be the go-to media source for people who want to cut the cord, cut cable, cut dish.
Sure.
And people are saying, but for those people, that's as of right now, because of Microsoft's dedication to that media and the presentation and all the partners that they've worked with, not just cable providers, of course, but all like the channels and everything, all the networks, that they're positioning themselves to be the best option for those people who are.
But how much do you think the extra $100 is going to weigh into that? I think that was huge.
The extra $100 is the Kinect.
Right. See, that's what I was going to mention.
And that's where the extra $100 comes from.
I find it interesting that, like, we can all safely assume that it is the Kinect adding that, bumping it from like a $400 price tag to $500. But then at E3, they don't really show you any compelling reason why you'd want or need a Kinect besides the stuff it does now, like voice commands and stuff like that.
It's just, the thing is amazing now. It is everything they wanted it to be before. Like the stats alone from the hardware.
Well, yeah, they keep telling me it's amazing, but they're not telling me how it's going to make like my game experience or anything else.
I don't think anybody knows how it's going to get used. The bonus is that now that it's attached to every console, developers can plan for it. You can't plan for it when you have like a 5 or 10% attachment rate.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is
is that going to hurt Sony now that they're not bundling a camera?
Yeah, the camera's going to be $60, right?
Right.
So maybe if you really want to...
Now we get back to attachment rates. Does that hurt Sony as far as those features? Do those features matter?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think they will, for me. Anyway, right. I don't expect any sort of Kinect, motion control, whatever. I've yet to be impressed by it. I haven't seen or heard anything that leads me to believe it's going to be speaking to me personally in the next couple of years. So, at least for me, I don't care.
Was anybody else? No, I know a couple of people here don't give a fuck about the NFL, but was anybody else excited about the NFL partnership they talked about and about your fantasy stats on screen?
No, it's just it.
I thought that was the fucking shit.
Yeah, I really like that.
I like that a lot, but I play fantasy football through ESPN, not NFL.com, so it's just like
we were talking about. We already had the day after they talked about that. A friend of mine called me and said, "So should we be switching over our league?" And I was like, "I don't know. That looks really cool."
It does look really cool, when I watch football, I'm either at a bar or at a friend's house, and I'm not going to have my Kinect turned on or my Xbox turned on.
I watch football in my house with my laptop on my lap. That's how I watch football because I can't really go to a bar and my friends suck. So To me, I was like, if I can ditch the laptop, this hot piece of material on my lap, and replace that with a beer, and then I can just watch everything on screen, I thought that was hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, but
The unfortunate part is it's not going to mean shit this season.
yeah, and for me, it doesn't affect me. I watch football at a bar or at a buddy's place, so.
Will you use ESPN? Yeah, I'm on that too. Okay, forget it. I was just curious about your fantasy hosting.
Yeah,
ESPN as well.
the NFL doesn't speak to me at all. I couldn't care less. But
your eyes glazed over.
Yeah, but you know what? That was really cool. The big thing is that looking at the whole presentation, like objectively, I was able to look at it and pull excitement from it because I could look at how cool that could be.
Well, and that's what you have to do with all of these things. They tell you about these features. It's up to you. It's up to the consumer to extrapolate. How is this going to be used next year? How is this going to be used 2 years, 3 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know what I mean? This isn't just what's going to happen at launch. Of course, launch is going to be different. Look at the Xbox launch titles. Look at the PS3 launch titles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the difference in how things are going.
I have a hard time just looking and be like, that's not for me at all. Me.
Also, has anyone
I
else-
like it. No.
Has anyone else seen the news? I haven't seen confirmation on this yet, but I did read a couple of places that they're rumoring Xbox is going to come with a free year of live.
I heard something about that too. Yeah,
Which is gonna be great. Like anybody who sits down your couch to play your Xbox has gold level experience. It's like you have one gold account, and like my wife and my son who
That's
also play
really
games.
cool.
Like anybody who sits down has access to that.
Glad they finally did that.
That's great. And there's like countless other improvements they made with Xbox. Like your account just follows you, just wherever you go. I think it's so seamless now.
Cloud-based now.
Yeah, even more so than it is now.
yeah, and if the system comes with a year, that's also balancing out the price a bit because with the PS4 now, you do need PlayStation Plus to play online. Yeah.